Hello, hello. We are live with the Crow Inquisitors side stories. It's a good time.
Hey.
Doing some things. Things are happening. We're gonna find out what happened to Siegfried. What Siegfried has been up to in the last bit. We know that there is a Sahiba after him. And apparently he has been very good at not being around when that Sahiba's been asking about him. And I think that, the last thing we got right was that you failed to bring someone onto your side.
Yes, I failed to bring her onto my side, but I succeeded in getting her to try and snap the lady who was already at my side. Right? It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She did agree to help snap, basically. Yeah, help induce the change necessary to hopefully make Ludwita, the witch wife, into a person who can use the 9 disciplines. What was this person's name?
And then my old apprentice was there.
Yeah, and then you found out that Yusuf was working for your old acquaintance.
My old flame.
Yeah. What? I can't find her on this list of people that I have here. Maybe I never made a character for her, but I know I wrote. No, Vishna is the lady that Theo, the priestess lady that Theo prayed with in the other in the room at the.
Prayed with?
Remember?
Okay.
Yeah, so this, I never made a character for this person, the character sheet for this person, but this person's name was Xixisa. It was a weird name.
I remember that.
Yeah.
How do you remember all of these names?
No, I always write them in chat, is what I do. As soon as I make up a name, as soon as I make up a name, I write it in chat immediately so that I remember it. Because otherwise, I will not. Angels of 7 is another campaign that I do with some
your cool friends.
No, not with my cool friends. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not insulting them, but it's the 2 missionary kids that I know who, one lives in Germany and one lives in Haiti, and so they I got them together, and we on Friday afternoons usually we do a quick 3-hour game. Yeah, so that's all their stuff. So let's see. Let me drag her as a character in here. So yeah, that was the last thing that happened, right? You talked with her, you met Yusuf again, Ludwita was around doing things, and then you were gonna go do something else, right? You left her house.
Yes.
What were you gonna do? What was going on?
I don't remember. But I think I'm gonna go have a talk with Meerfried.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Your uplifted Meerkat.
Yes, and I'm going to teach him magic.
So are you referring to the one that you uplifted, right? Yes. With magic, not whatever the other one's name was.
That is
Pookie or whatever.
Pookie. Yeah.
But that was a more mystical thing. Did we ever establish that you legitimately uplifted that one too, or is it
that's my spirit familiar?
Right, I know it's in Burning Wheel rules. It's a spirit familiar. But what is that? What was the narrative reason that we had in game for Pookie?
Oh boy,
did we ever come up with that?
I don't think so.
Maybe we didn't.
Accidental binding magic.
Yeah, I guess we don't. Yeah, it's a little bit more mysterious what Pookie's about. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. We can have a conversation with Meerfried. I think that's what we did. That is what you named him, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't remember if we actually came up with a name for what. Oh no, I think we said that right. The Meerkat refers to itself as master. Remember? But I don't think it said that to you, right? And so you just call it Meerfried.
Yep.
Because yeah, your Meerkat doesn't want you to know that he
I
wants to usurp your place or whatever.
No, it brings a tear to my eye. He's growing so fast.
Yep.
Do you think he knows that would make me proud?
If he does, he doesn't care.
Oh.
Remember, this is a result of a failed roll.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah. So, frame the scene for me, Jared. Like, what's going on? Where are you meeting Meerfried?
Oh boy, dude, it's probably where the gathering place of their main gathering place, wherever that is. We haven't really established that.
Oh,
yet.
the Meerkat gathering place.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, right. Because we said that you have a herd of meerkats, and Meerfried is the leader of this herd of meerkats. Yeah, and so they've been making like a little like colony outside White Sea. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so it's just outside the city walls a bit. Yeah. So you're just like standing, in the savannah basically of White Sea or surrounding White Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, how do you contact Meerfried? Was it just, I guess you just walk up, right, and you're walking over to the meerkats, and one of the meerkat scouts like spots you and then goes over to like find Meerfried, and so yeah, Meerfried is waiting for you, like on a prominent stone that it's kind of chosen as its like meeting place.
Yeah.
Right. This big
like
big black
Lion
rock.
King.
Yeah. This
Pride
big
Rock.
This big black rock. And I think, did we ever establish whether or not it, because Pookie has gloves, right? Is that what you said?
Boots.
As boots. It doesn't have both. Does it have little boots and little gloves? I feel like you said both.
Maybe. I mean, they need their top paws to like grab at stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think so. So you see Meerfried, right? And he has taken it upon himself to wear to gather an affectation of his own. He has a little iron circlet that he wears as a crown.
That's great.
Yeah, it's this little like just band of iron. It's like basically probably like a bracelet that he like stole from somewhere. And yeah, he puts it on his head as a crown. And yeah, he's just like standing there, like as a meerkat would, like like standing proudly with his little meerkat crown. And yeah, I'm like, do you have a way to talk to?
Yeah,
the meerkats.
I've read speak.
Oh yeah, you do, and that was from your tainted legacy, right?
Yeah, it was something to do with my corruption and all that.
Yeah, and so like the in character reason for this, right, is that you've probably been doing some sort of like subconscious binding magic, right, to the meerkats, so that you can, it's like the connection in Bands of Mourning or whatever, the connection necrosil metal mines or whatever that they use. Yeah. It's kind of like that. You've bound yourself, you've connected yourself to these meerkats. And so yeah, Meerfried basically says, I think he calls you the father. Yeah, and he says,
that warms my old man heart.
He says, what has the father deemed to bring us?
I think I have a surprise for you today.
Little surprises me anymore, especially about humans.
It's not necessarily about me, it's about what you might be able to do now.
He just does the meerkat affectation for like raised eyebrow, basically. He doesn't actually raise an eyebrow, but he does whatever the mannerism is for that.
I just do a little like shocky what's called plasma in my hand just to show off my magic.
Yeah, a little like lightning crackle.
I was thinking you might have the propensity to be able to do this now, or something similar. One sec. Yeah.
And while Jared is checking the door, I'm gonna take a bite of my sandwich. Prime entertainment right here.
Okay, I'm back.
Sorry, I took a bite of my sandwich.
You're good.
Maybe too big of a bite. Yeah, so you say, like, I think you might be able to do magic. Meerfried says, the thought has occurred to me. I have understood that since I am an equal of intelligence with any other sentient being, I suppose the 9 disciplines should be open to me as well. I see no reason for this not to be the case.
And that was my thought process as well. So I thought I'd attempt to share what I know and teach you, per se.
He says, what shall the trade be, then? What do you demand in trade for this learning?
I just want to see if it's possible. That enough is payment.
He looks at you and he said he kind of like does the raised eyebrow thing again, whatever that mannerism is, and he says, in classic Parshendi fashion, he hums to skepticism, as it were. I need to figure out what some more Meerkat like mannerism sort of things are. I'm actually reading a novella right now about sentient elephants, up to the elephants, and like they're like some of the like scenes are from the perspective of these elephants, and it's so different, like the way they speak and everything. The person has just like gone all out in thinking like how the elephants would be like think differently than humans. I'm thinking right now about like how the meerkats would think if they're uplifted. But yeah, I think he says, so curiosity sated is the trade, then?
Yes.
I accept these conditions. When shall we begin?
Now.
He chitters like a command to the other meerkats that have been like staying around him like soldiers or whatever, and they all kind of like skitter away into their holes. And you go.
Are they all wearing boots too?
They have like a menagerie of different like small scraps of cloth, and a lot of like they've probably stolen quite a few little clothing items from like infants, because I mean there's no way that these small like gloves, right, have they have a little like some little mitts, right, and there's no reason that they would have these except if they've stolen them from like very small infants, and so that would actually fit. But yeah, it's like a menagerie of different like clothing items. So like one of them has like a scrap of cloth that it's kind of made into a scarf. Another has like a little hat. But yeah, they've started gathering like small little bits of cloth and other like clothing items, and have like started accessorizing, as it were.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the rest of them, they go back to their duties. They go back to the normal things that they've been doing normally. They go back to scouting or whatever, what other thing they've been up to. And so Meerfried, steps down from his rock, and makes like a placating gesture, like, kind of like a I'm trying to think of the adjective here. He makes a welcoming gesture, almost like begin kind of a thing. You started to realize that's what it kind of means. So yeah. So you just want to roll then?
Sure.
So what are you trying to do here exactly? You're trying to I mean, there's a couple different things you could do, right? You could actually just try to do like the tests to induce change, right? Or you could just teach him theory for now, right? And he'll have to like get the other stuff on his own. One would be something else, and the other would be like an actual like instruction role. So.
I have instruction.
Because that's the thing, right? Like teaching him theory is probably the easiest thing to do. The other thing is rather nebulous, right? You just have to like cause him to undergo stress or change somehow. I mean, like to be honest, like if animals naturally have the capacity to use the 9 disciplines, which is a thing that hasn't really been tested all that much, I feel. And even if they do, it's been hypothesized. I mean, you've done research papers probably on this, but like at the times when you've actually been in like a collegiate role, like it's been hypothesized that even if animals do have the capacity to get the 9 disciplines through induced change, they don't have the capacity to use it like a sentient mind would be able to, and so that's why we haven't been able to detect it in animals thus far. That's one hypothesis anyway. But
I'd much rather teach him the theory to begin with, because I mean, in my mind, really in Siegfried's mind at least, he already went through the most dramatic change that could ever happen.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So he's thinking if it's there, this should prompt it to manifest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So instruction, of course, I'll be rolling.
Yeah.
All right. So.
So you are trying to instruct him in. What are you trying to instruct him in?
The basics of the 9 disciplines and
so magic
and such, and how to like
magic wise.
Yeah,
I'm trying to teach him magic wise.
Yes.
Okay. So let me grab the book. You are trying to teach him just like a routine test, or yeah, it would just be a routine test because he doesn't have the skill. So you're just getting him a bubble in the learning the skill basically. So that's going to be a 1 for routine test plus 3. No wait, it's a plus 3 for it being a wise. So of 4, yeah, it's gonna be an ob 4 test.
Okay. Okay. He's kind of Chimera-esque now, right?
I believe that the skills there are that wise is definitely relevant to the situation.
Okay,
for sure.
So yeah, I'm taking into account what I know of chimeras and their magical propensities to teach. So I'm gonna fork in that. Homunculus wise, probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because that's imparting human soul or souls into something, right?
You definitely would be able to fork that in if you're trying to like figure out if this thing actually does have magic.
Okay.
But yeah.
Gotcha. And magic wise, of course, obscure history. I'm gonna do that because I'm sure there's some theoretic papers out there that were written by more than just me. And would any of my magical discipline wises come into effect? Like I have physical discipline wise.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think elemental disciplines wise makes sense.
All right. And then physical discipline wise.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's really all that would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So up 4.
Oh, let's scroll all the way down.
Nice.
There we go.
I need to make a character sheet for Meerkat at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you succeeded there. So this test takes. I'm gonna assume that Meerkat has a will of 4.
I'd say 10, but yeah.
And so it's gonna take 6 days plus. So it's going to take 11 days to complete this practice. And so, you know, this is like a all day sort of thing. And so we're just going to assume this is going on in the background, right? Like while the rest of this is going on. But yeah, you begin to teach Meerkat the fundamentals of magic. Yeah. And, you know, he doesn't immediately just start throwing lightning bolts around or whatever. But he's, you know, you've succeeded, so he listens attentively and seems to grasp the concepts as you teach them to him. So that's the thing. Yeah. So I mean, the next thing, right, is let's see if Zixisa can induce the proper change in Ludwita to see if she has magic. I'm trying to think of what this would be, really. This may be.
She has like mental. She had the mental discipline, right? Or...
Oh, is that what we said? Right, that she was gonna mess around with her mind and try to. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, here, let me just roll some dice here. Let's see. I'm gonna roll. I'll give her 9 dice in total. And she'll spend fate if she has it, so I'll just automatically roll this. And let's see what she gets. 5 successes. Yeah, I think she does it successfully. I think I'm fine with that. We can just say that she, you know, through a series of tests, which Ludwita does not find the most comfortable in the world. Like, these are pretty strenuous. Ludwita comes out of it, and yeah, she gets magic. She unlocks the first of the disciplines open to her. So let's go ahead and roll, shall we? And see what she gets. I'm gonna wait.
We roll physical again.
So this is weighted to. Yeah, this is weighted on a specific. It has a little bit more chance of getting the spatial discipline, because she is Garrick in nature, and so that's the way that this works. But let's roll.
Ooh.
The influential discipline. Oh man, that's terrifying for Ludwita to get the influential discipline.
I like this.
Yeah, so she gets the influential discipline. So let me grab her character sheet. So she gets magic. And yeah, I'm going to say she starts at 1. Because she unlocked a discipline. And I want to put it in her being learned. Let's see, what should her... Well, I mean, she probably just has all of them, but so for now I'll just put individual influence. So the thing she's trying to practice right now is influencing an individual rather than a crowd. Yeah. So yeah, she starts messing around with that. And what was it? How did this go? Was this gonna be? Because I remember you failed some rolls here.
Yeah.
Was it Ludwig was gonna join her instead?
I didn't fail any of my rolls with Ludwetta. I only failed them with
Right.
the other lady.
Right. Okay. So I think maybe we get a short scene, right? That Siegfried is not aware of. That is basically like she's offering Ludwig that. He's like, how about you just ditch this loser and come join me instead. And Ludwig very seriously considers it, but I think because you succeeded, she just says, I don't know you as well as I know Siegfried. I can manipulate Siegfried. I'm not so sure about you. And so she sticks with you, not because she likes you, but because she thinks you're more gullible than this lady is.
Yeah. Well, I've done my job right, though.
Yeah. yeah, it's true. Yeah, and so Xixisa says in response, basically, oh, suit yourself then. But you're going to miss out on a project of mine that I think you may have been interested in. Too bad. And then steps away.
Oh, she's off doing a project.
Yeah.
I want to know what it is.
You don't know that she even said that. So.
Yeah, I know what's the worst part.
So we've established that she has the intellectual discipline, right?
Yes.
Do we establish anything else? Any other discipline that she has?
No, only the mental things.
How about you go ahead and roll on or on Magic Wise rather,
Okay.
to see how much you know about, like what disciplines she has.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
And so just odd one because it will be graduated. So the more success you get, the more you'll know.
Should I fork in my other Magic Wises as well?
Any magic ones that would make sense.
Physical, elemental.
Probably just those two. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So what else would it be?
Just looking for Magic Wise. There we go. Okay. Well, that was a kind of roll.
Yeah. So you don't know what other disciplines she has. So you know that she has the intellectual discipline, but for whatever reason, she's done a good job of hiding from you what other magical abilities she has. But I mean, you have your suspicions that she probably has more. Because you know that she's pretty powerful. But you're not sure what they are. So she's only ever used the intellectual discipline around you. So she must do a good job of hiding whatever else she has. So so what else are you gonna be up to?
So does she come back?
Who? Ludwig?
Ludwig.
Yeah. So are you just you're just chilling at the camp? So this is the thing, right? You get word at some point during the course of this that Vashri has come. And this is the Sahiba that you were gonna do a magical favor for, and you failed, and she's mad at you. She kind of blames you, I think, for the destruction of her her clan, basically. And you may or may not have been responsible for that. You probably played a part in it, at least.
Oh, I remember what I was supposed to make it rain, and then I wasn't able to, right?
Maybe I don't remember.
Something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure the details are terribly important, but you did something bad. Yeah, and so you learn about that. So you probably wouldn't hang out at the Crow Inquisitors camp because that would be where they would look for you first. So where are you hanging out instead?
Probably my laboratory kind of thing.
Oh,
it's not really my lab though.
You're talking about in the palace, in Caspian's palace? Well, I mean, it's obvious that you haven't done that because Caspian looked for you and she couldn't find you.
Okay.
And yeah, that would be the first place that she the second place that she would look besides the Crow Inquisitors camp would be that. And so you're smart enough to know that you have to not be there either. Where are you instead?
What was the surgeon lady?
Her name is Yuvana. You could stay at her house.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna
Yeah.
show up at her house, potentially with Ludwetta if she's back by now,
Okay. Yeah.
because I want her dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. So we open up the scene right where it's like the middle of the night, and you and Ludwetta are sneaking through White Sea, and you come up to Ivana, and you come up to her house, and I think so. I'm trying to remember exactly how this went down. So, she's been helping you like learn surgery,
Yes.
but I think you've disappeared, right? For a little while here. Haven't come back, and so she was staying at the palace, but she went ahead and went back to her house, to continue working with the patients that she usually does in her neighborhood, because I mean, Caspian had no need for her unless.
Oh, I also brought a Meerkat with me as well.
Okay, which one? Just a random one.
Manners.
I mean, you obviously have Pookie with you.
Yeah, well, Pookie, but I bring another one.
So just one of the random ones. His name is Manners.
Nanners.
I love it.
Like bananas, but nanners.
Oh, Nanners.
Wait, what do you think I said?
I thought you said manners.
Oh, manners. No, nanners.
Okay, all right. So Nanners, is with you. Let's see. Nanners has a scarf. He has a little scarf.
Oh, it's so... Hey,
and right,
if anyone's listening, I need you to make fan art of all of the Meerkats from here on out.
Yeah. I can maybe get Carly Pinch to do a fan art of your cat with the scarf.
That'd
be kind of cute. But so and the rest of the Meerkats, right? You haven't tried to uplift them.
No.
They're regular Meerkats being led by an uplifting Meerkat. And, you can speak to them because you have the Meerkat speak. And so Nanners is just kind of like chilling. He's following Pookie. I think Nanners is he's definitely a kleptomaniac. Right, and so he just constantly like taking little bits and bobs that he finds. So you guys go through like an alley, and like there's a garbage heap, and he's just like sifting through it, and he finds like a little like discarded button, and he grabs some string, right, and kind of like ties it to the button, and he puts it over his back as like kind of like a little shield, right, like a little buckler that's like on his being carried on his back. He comes along, and you guys make your way.
I love this.
Yeah, you guys make your way in through the night to Ivana's house. And Ludwetta, I think, whispers to you at one point, "Why the secrecy, Siegfried?"
An old friend, another. Wait, no, I need to use my old man voice for this. Another old friend of mine showed up recently.
How many old friends do you have, old man?
Too many.
Is this another one of those old friends that hates you?
Most of them are.
She just rolls her eyes, which you can barely see in the red moonlight that's filtering down from the red moon. I always have to do a mental check whenever it's a night scene that I have to remember that Serragon has a red moon.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I always have to mention it because like whenever you see any sort of night scene, it's always not. I mean, it depends on if the moon is full or not, but it usually has a reddish cast to it. Yes, you make your way up to Ivana's house, and you get to the door. You just like knock on it, or do you want to go around to the? Do you want to like go in another way?
Is there a back door?
There should be if you.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanna.
I just go in through the back door.
Right, and so the way this works, right, is this is a house that has one of those. I mean, it's Middle Eastern, right? So it has one of those. It's like a complex that has like that little courtyard that's kind of in the center of the house. So it's like a little garden. And so you can make your way if you go around to the other side, right? You can you can come in through the gate into this little courtyard. It's all locked though, right? So,
I mean, I have the physical discipline.
exactly
so
right.
I can just
Yeah, so you get up. You get up to the. I mean, go ahead and roll stealthy for me, right?
Ooh, I do not have that.
Let's see if you draw the attention of anyone that you don't want to.
Stealthy. What would I roll instead of that? I'm going to roll astrology.
You would roll. Well, you would roll speed. Right. So would you put in your being learned, and then put speed as the root. I'm gonna do it for Ludwig too.
Okay. Bad. Crap. That's not what I wanted. Being learned. Okay.
But yeah, you can always add the astrology die. Actually, you can't in this instance because not only is it a physical thing you're doing, but it's also not trained. So
yeah. Okay. Well, what's the ob?
I think ob 2.
Oh boy. Oh, she already failed. Well, I actually didn't do half bad, considering.
Yeah, you have a 6 there, and she also has a 6. But I mean, I'm not sure she's gonna bother spending fate on this.
Yeah.
So you guys,
and if she fails, there's no reason for me to.
Right. You guys are just noisy. You're not as stealthy as you would like to be. You make much more noise than you should. And I think at one point you see I mean, what happens, right, is from inside the complex, beyond the gate, you hear a dog start to bark. And it's just barking really loudly, and continuously. And the people know something's going on, right? Like the surrounding buildings are now, and this dog noise is coming from Yvonne's house. This is probably Yvonne's dog. And so, I mean, what do? You're in front of the gate, right? And you hear this dog barking. What do you do?
Is it in the house or is it in the backyard?
So it's like in the courtyard. Yeah.
I don't like dogs. I'm gonna go back around to the front door.
Okay.
I don't want to get bit or kill her dog.
So you're just gonna pretend that you're just gonna yeah. Okay. All right. So you tried to do the stealthy way and you failed. So you went to the front door. Sure. Yeah. And so you come up to the front door. You just knock, basically.
Well, the dog was outside, right, in the little complex area.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just open the door then. And just walk in.
Open the door in the front door?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's locked too, so.
Okay.
Do you want to make a physical discipline? So what are you doing exactly?
I'm going to unlock it. I'm gonna, the little the little turning mechanism. What's it called? The tumbler mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to get rid of that part, so it won't latch when you turn the handle.
Right.
I'm going to turn it into...
So you're just going to turn the locking mechanism into, air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So... Okay.
Or water or whatever.
Physical discipline wise, I don't want that.
Yeah. So you're using substance here.
Yes. Where's substance?
And I think this is an ob 3.
3. Holy cow.
Yeah. Maybe an ob 4. Because I mean, a locking mechanism is a pretty complex piece of machinery, and even if you are just changing it to something, you have to have a bit of knowledge about this. So I think ob 4. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have to fork some stuff into this.
Yeah.
So, physical discipline wise, of course. Magic wise. Oh man. Oh boy, Caleb. I don't have anything for locks. Okay, yeah, I'm going with it. No, I can't. I have so much
Good
stuff
luck.
to keep track of, Caleb. Let's do it. I failed. Oh,
You did. Wow, that was a really bad roll.
that was so bad, Caleb.
Well, you can mark that difficult substance test though.
Woo.
So what happens instead is you change it into fire, and the door starts on fire.
Dang it.
Yeah, and if you leave this, like, this is bad. It's just gonna continue to keep burning the door down.
I have liquid. It's fine, Caleb.
I mean, the thing to do here would probably be to use plasma, because you can't just create liquid, right? I mean, you could with this physical discipline, but that's what you just tried to do and you failed.
Okay.
So if you want to just control the flames to like put them out, basically, you can use.
And that would probably
plasma.
be easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ob 2.
Oh, that's much easier. No, I can't find plasma because it's organized badly. Oh, there it is. Okay. Elemental discipline wise, magic wise, alchemy wise, because alchemy has a lot to do with fire, and I know how to control fire. Caleb,
No.
Dang. Okay, then I'll do astrology.
So you do that one separately. Okay. you roll it after. Because remember yeah. So just roll a 1d6 after you make your original. Because that one can go either way. I don't know. You have to know which die it is. So.
Gotcha. Crap.
Nice. So go ahead and roll 1d6.
Why 1d6?
Because this is your astrology die.
Oh. Okay. Oops.
And if this gets on a 6, then it automatically rerolls. So.
Yep.
Put an exclamation point in there. Never mind.
Oh, too bad. And I'm gonna spend a fate to reroll one of the plasmas.
Yep. You can reroll one failed dice with fate. All right. Yep. There you go.
Okay.
That's all you needed. Yeah. So you quickly put out the fire. I mean, so the locking mechanism it's gone now. So
I did it.
There's a big black like scorch mark on her door, but
I'll fix that later.
And the handle is like really hot to the touch, but
that's fine.
You can like just put the sleeve of your robe around it and just like turn it real quick and push it open.
Yes, I do that.
Okay.
Right? I'll use magic to make it cold again. Oh, no.
Okay.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. So you push the door open. And go ahead and make a speed test.
Oh, haha! I'm actually good at that.
Let me check.
I just graduated.
Your ob is 2.
2. Haha!
Actually, I mean, to be honest, I forgot the paradigm between skills and stats. This is actually technically an ob 4 because skills are always better than stats.
So whenever you're defending with speed, then you're always at like a double.
Yes, it is always better to defend with like an actual weapon skill than it is to defend with a stat.
Well, I want to defend with something other than
that.
that,
So you can do that then if you want to.
Okay, I'm going to do the substance discipline and
You
change
cannot-
it to flowers.
No, that's not a. It's not a. I mean, the problem is here you have to be able to react quick enough to do this.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. I'll say that speed test that you just made allows you to react quick enough to do this. Yep, go ahead.
Alright, so I'm gonna fork in physical physical discipline wise, magic wise, alchemy wise, because I'm changing one thing into another.
Sure.
And intimidation, because I'm going to do it intimidatingly.
No.
Darn. Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay, cool. So you turn. So, Yuvana.
Just so you know, my substance is now 3.
Nice. So, Yuvana swings a staff at your head, because there's an intruder, obviously, and yeah, you just turn her staff into flowers, and yeah, she curses and yeah, she's just like, Chaos. What? Who are you? Siegfried? What are you doing? And who's? And she just like sighs and just get in here and like ushers you in very quickly. Closes the door behind you and like winces like and cries out like as she touches the handle.
It's the inside. The inside's fine.
No, you do not know how handles work.
It's fine, Caleb. They're it's fine.
No, she burns herself on the handle and she closed the door. And yeah, she drags you into like the other room. And yeah, she like lights a candle in this room. It's like a little just like kitchen area, and you hear the dog continuing to bark from outside in this little courtyard, and it's this just an archway. There's not a door like leading out. There's just an archway. It's open to the air to this courtyard, and so the dog just comes running up to you barking, and Yuvana just like shh, 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 like to the dog, and the dog finally comes down and then she looks at you and she says, "What in the abyss are you doing here, Siegfried?"
What am I doing here, Caleb?
I don't know. What are you doing here? You're hiding from the Sahiba.
Yeah. It's never too late to experiment.
What? I don't... And the dog starts barking at the meerkats. And like, Pookie like climbs up your leg, right, and goes on your shoulder. But Nanners, like, he just like runs away and like climbs up a counter, and he grabs like a little like stick that he found somewhere, and he's like holding the stick out in front of him at the dog, yeah, and just like fending it off basically, but the dog's just barking at it, and she's like, Why did you bring rats into my house? What is going on?
Rats? How dare you? These are meerkats. And they are my assistants.
I don't care what they are. Get them out. I don't need vermin in here.
Vermin? That's what we're experimenting on today.
What are you talking about?
Our job?
It's the middle of the night, Siegfried. Why are you here? How do you even know where to find me?
I know many a thing, and I can't go back to the palace currently.
What did you do, Siegfried? What is going on?
I did nothing. There was just a mean lady looking for me. And it's not this one. It's a different one.
Like, Duetta, like, looks at you like, bro, what?
She is also my assistant. As you can see, she is not a meerkat.
I just realized that Siegfried is the main character of a harem anime.
Yeah.
He's just surrounded by women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Most of them don't like me.
Yep. It sounds like one of those anime.
They're all gonna love me at the end, though.
Yep. Oh dear. I mean, like, what is your? So you're basically telling her like we're gonna experiment on a meerkat in the middle of the night.
No, not in the middle of the night. That's just my excuse for why I'm here.
Right. I mean, so what is your intent with right now with what you're talking? Like, what do you want her to do?
Stay the night and experiment in the morning, bright and early, first thing.
Okay, I mean that's a persuasion test. So this is you're trying to pique her curiosity, right? Like, oh, we can like professional curiosity on like what you're talking about.
Ooh, I do not have persuasion, Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you gotta learn it. Based on will.
Oh, you deleted it.
Oh, don't replace stealthy.
I didn't.
I didn't delete it. Maybe. Oh, I just. Sorry, I guess I was just editing stealthy and added a capital to it, so maybe I accidentally. Yeah, I might have done it.
What's the app for that?
Wait a second. Did you used a fate on plasma, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Make sure you take that off your pool and add it to plasma. A little bubble there. Yeah. So the ob for this, I mean, is her will, which I unfortunately don't know, so I'm just gonna guess it's 4, which will double,
right,
which will double to 8. So yeah.
Woo! Oh, well, either way.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, I know what I did.
Why did that still say it's a routine test? I don't understand.
I don't know.
That's so confusing. Yeah. So yeah, you put a bubble on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you definitely failed. So yeah, she just like shakes her head at you and she says, "No, there's no experimentation that's going to go on tonight or tomorrow. You are going to leave my house immediately. If you're being tracked down by some woman, like I don't want her to find you here and then I'm gonna get in trouble. What? I have patients to look after. I have responsibilities, obligations. I can't afford to be in prison right now, Siegfried.
Well, for one, you won't be in prison. You have what's his face's protection, and 2, I can help you with your patients.
She just shrugs, like, I said what I said.
Oh.
You can try a different approach, but you can't use persuasion again.
I could use ugly truth, but that would still be against her will. Crap.
No, it wouldn't actually. Ugly truth is against the difficulty of the truth, like the complexity of the truth.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm going to say, okay, you could kick me out onto the streets and risk losing your job and angering David's character, whose name
Caspian.
I always forget, and angering Caspian. Or you could let us stay the night, and I'll help you with your patients. And we can experiment tomorrow, after your patients are dealt with.
I mean, that still sounds pretty persuasion-esque.
But I'm saying that she's gonna tick off Caspian, and
yeah, but it's still ultimately do this because it's in your best interest. Ugly truth is like laying bare the ugly truth about a situation. Like you have to get a bit more ugly.
Yeah. Oh, my character ends up being so much more mean than I want him to be. It's for the greater good.
Well, when your 2 social skills are ugly truth and intimidation, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll cut out all the other part and just be like, I wouldn't want to risk angering Caspian.
So you're implying that like that Caspian wants this to happen?
Yes.
That's a falsehood roll.
Dang it. But this is not falsehood. This is what Caspian wants. Or at least this is what I believe he'd want. Come on.
Okay, so your ugly truth here is This is your job. Get over it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like my methods, but this is the way I work. Okay, I could see that. So let me look at ugly truth. Let me see what the ob here would be. Let's see, ugly truth. Ob 3.
Ob 3, dang, bro. Oh man. Oh. Okay, well, may as well fork astrology because I can do that with anything. Oh, can a lady assist me with her influential? Thing?
I think you would want her to help you with anything else but that because she has a 1 die on it and it's untrained.
Okay. Oh, it's untrained. You can't assist with untrained. Okay, yeah. Have her help me with anything else.
I mean, do you look at her and like give her the look like please help?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. She rolls her eyes and yeah, she gives you a persuasion die. And
she has persuasion.
Yeah, and she says actually no, she can't use persuasion because that failed already. Let's see. She uses, I mean, she just adds to her ugly truth. She has ugly truth as well. So she says oh no. You know what she does? She lies. She says Caspian told us specifically to come here and do this. Like this is a time sensitive matter.
Can I add inconspicuous?
No.
Oh, I'm trying to be sneaky about it.
That would be falsehood.
Darn.
If you don't have so.
Okay. I don't want to use intimidation on her. I kind of like her.
And she's actually kind of like a good person.
Yeah.
She just wants to help people.
Mm-hmm. Can I add any of my magic wises since I offered to help her with her patients?
No.
Beforehand? No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, going with it. Oh! No!
Wow, that's really bad.
I'm such a conner.
Yeah, roll that astrology die.
It's so bad, Caleb. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, so she looks at you, and she seems to get a little angry, and she says, I don't know what your game is, Siegfried, but I need you to leave now. I am not going to put myself in more danger by having you around. I will see you at the palace when this situation is resolved. Good night. And she like starts ushering you towards the door. You can still try something else, but
I don't have any other. I mean, other
you
than
could intimidate.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
So Judah looks at you as you guys are being ushered away, and she whispers like, "Is this it? We're just going to give up. You said this was important, Siegfried."
I've already garnered all the knowledge I came here to seek. And then I walk off.
You're gonna pretend like this is all you needed.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, that's a falsehood roll, so.
But I did garner something that I wished to seek out of this confrontation.
Go ahead and roll a falsehood to see if you can come off as being like super in control of the situation.
I don't have one.
Actually, this would be acting.
Oh, darn it. How about inconspicuous?
No.
Oh man.
Go ahead and put this in your being learned. Acting is based on perception.
Hey.
So you're much better at it.
Perception. What's the ob?
The ob is
1?
Ob 2.
Oh, I actually have a chance. Oh wait, crap. I did that wrong. Okay. Oh my goodness. May as well spend a fate.
So that goes on perception.
Okay. Oh, I'm such a conner today.
Nice.
This game hates me so much.
Yeah, so Ludwita just like rolls her eyes again and she's just like, sure, right. So yeah, she pushes you out of your house and closes the door and winces again as the handle's still hot. And
it wouldn't be hot at this. What's the metal made out of?
I don't know.
Like brass. It's fine at this point.
Well, she says as you close the door, she says, and you owe me a new lock, and like closes the door.
Can I try to fix the lock before I leave?
Okay, so as difficult as changing the locking mechanism into water was,
fire.
Changing making a new locking mechanism is like double the obstacle of that. So if you want to attempt that, you can be my guest.
Let's not do that. Okay.
Yeah, so what now?
I mean... Oh boy. It's a lot harder to do this without a bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd say go back to the palace, but David would have seen me there. Probably.
I mean, you could go back to the palace and like sneak around if you wanted to.
Be sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, we all know how that's gonna go. I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, sure. Here, let's look at your beliefs. What do you have going on?
Basically already done everything. I'll get Ludwita magic. You
want to make a solid gold living Meerkat.
Yeah, that's why I wanted her, so I could add her dice to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just wait until the morning. Like, you just have to find a place to sleep, and then you can just come back here, right, and see if you can, convince her in a different situation. That's the thing.
I'll just go to the palace and be okay. Guest room. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Good night.
Okay. Make an inconspicuous roll to not be seen during this time. To get into the guest room and then just like.
What's the ob?
I'll just make it up to you.
Caleb, you're killing me.
Nice.
Oh man.
Add one more die to that because of Ludwita. Ludwita is helping you.
Dang it! I keep rolling the wrong command. Hey, you know what?
You got one.
Spend a fate.
You can't because you didn't get any sixes.
Oh yeah, crap. I'm so used to it being magic.
Yeah.
I'll do astrology.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Woo!
There you go. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Do I get routine in astrology every time I use it in a thing, or no?
Nope. That's only if you roll it as a link test or help someone else with it.
Gotcha.
Not if you fork it in for yourself. Yeah. So you managed to sneak in, like you just basically just like walk through the palace, right? And there's like some guards, but like you managed to just pretend like you're supposed to be there, like nothing out of the ordinary. I'm just a regular person. Don't look at me. Don't pay attention to me. And yeah, and you and Ludwita go in and spend the night there. So, I mean, where's Ludwita sleeping? Like, what?
On the bed.
And you're sleeping on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, what do you? So you get into the room, right? And Ludwita looks at you and she's like, "And now what?" And looks at you and like, "I am not sleeping in the same bed with you, old man."
Of course not. I'm not that old.
You look old.
I know. I'm only 48. I'm a pretty fit 48 too.
Mm-hmm.
one of these days I'm gonna like shave off my beard, take a shower, and everyone's gonna be like, "Dang, you sexy old man." And I'm just like, of course not. Who do you think I am?
She raises an eyebrow. So she's like, "Well, where am I sleeping then?"
I point to the bed.
And where are you sleeping then?
I point to the comfy rug in front of the fireplace.
He looks at you, raises an eyebrow, shrugs, and then just like collapses on the bed because she's tired.
I may be many things, but I am also a gentleman.
You say to yourself as you go curl him on the rug. Yep. And Pookie and Nanners both like curl up next to you.
Okay, we have to get a new Meerkat. I like Nanners too much. I can't risk him dying.
This is what I'm going to do with every Meerkat, Siegfried. As soon as you say, all right, I'm going to grab another Meerkat and we're going to change this one to the solid living gold Meerkat. And I'm going to be like, well, this one has like these huge eyes and it just looks at you really sadly when you...
I'll take one that's loyal to Meerkat.
Right.
One who's become murderous.
But yeah, so you fall asleep and you wake up the next day. And so you're just going to like go back to the... to Ivana's house and see if you can get her to work with you now.
I thought she was gonna come back to the lab.
Oh, is that what you said?
That's what you said.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So
Did David do his part of the job and get me more Meerkats? I told him to do that like 8 parts ago.
Wait, was that actually a thing?
Yeah, that was part of my agreement for working for him. Was that he'd give me more prisoners and Meerkats.
Right. Okay, sure. So yeah, when you get to the lab, so I'm gonna let the inconspicuous roll slide, right? So you're managing to ride, yeah.
How dare you.
Right, like as you make your way through the like side corridors of the palace, you manage to go unnoticed by anyone. And you go to the lab, and people have already checked in the lab for you, right? And so they don't think to check again necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Ivana is there. And she's actually like working on someone when you get there. There's like a guard or someone of Caspian's that got like injured. She's stitching him up. And she looks at you and just kind of frowns as you walk in with Ludwig.
I just walk over and I'm going to add a dice to her surgery roll, or whatever roll she's going to do for him.
Yeah, I mean she's gonna do a surgery roll. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I'll add surgery.
Okay. Let me roll for her. I need to make a character sheet for her.
Mm-hmm. She knows how to roll.
Yeah, so she does that really well. She gets those successes down, and stitches up this guy fine. She kind of just like raises an eyebrow, right, like as you join her, but she doesn't say anything as you like kind of help her stitch up. You're basically acting as like the surgeon's assistant, basically, right? So you're handing her scalpels and stuff, handing her the equipment that she needs. Lidwita just kind of like is poking around at the things in the room, right? And so Caspian has put a couple cages of meerkats in here, right? So there's like these big old crates with like
bars. I don't have to sacrifice the ones that will.
Yeah. These crates with bars, right, of like captured meerkats that he got on from the market or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Nanners and Pookie are like going over and like talking to them, and like you mean they're basically just saying like introducing themselves more or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Pookie, and this is Nanners. It's a pleasure to be working with you. The father has some great things in store. He's changing meerkat kind forever. You're part of something very great. Those sorts of things. And so Ludwita, I think, is fascinated by this, and she kind of just like watches the meerkats as they go from crate to crate. What else is in this room, Siegfried? Like, what else is in the lab? What did
there's probably a bunch of surgery tools and such, and alchemy sets and poultices and a bunch of ingredients and other doctor implements. I'm not a doctor, so
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Various surgery implements and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So what's her name? Ivana finishes with the guard. And the guard stands up and he looks at you, Siegfried, and he says, "Aren't you?" And Ivana looks at you, raises an eyebrow, like you realize that Caspian's gonna hear about this.
About what?
Like you being here, because this guard is gonna go. Like he probably recognized you.
That's fine. I'm supposed to be here. Am I not?
I mean, well, that's the thing, right? You're trying to hide from the Zahiba, and she's in the palace right now. She's a guest of Caspian's. So I think this is the day of the banquet, of the birthday party thing. So later on this evening, like it's gonna be like a party and some people are gonna come and stuff. The Zahiba is one of them. So it's possible the guard wouldn't get around to it. Like Caspian wouldn't hear about it until after the banquet, so you might be okay. But yeah, the guard like looks at you, right, and he says, "Aren't you?" And then like leaves it hanging.
That's I'll leave it. I'll leave it for now. I want to kill him.
Yeah, and Ivana like looks at you, right? Like she's looking at you, and you don't do anything, and so she looks at the guard, and she says, "Yes, Siegfried's back. He was running some errands for me. And he'll speak with Caspian soon enough, I'm sure." And the guard just kind of like frowns. He says, "All right. Well, I trust that you. I don't want to get a part of this." Then he just kind of like leaves.
Yeah.
And so yeah, basically what I'll do is I'll have Caspian be notified of it like next session. So, yeah, and so Ivana looks up at you, and you can tell that she's still kind of mad at you. And she raises an eyebrow, and she says, "So."
I apologize about last. Oh wait, no, I need to use my old man voice for this. I'm not sociopath guy. It's Siegfried right now. I need to apologize for last night. Sometimes my search for knowledge gets the best of me, and I get a little bit eager.
Do you know?
Some consider it a character fault. I like to think of it as a good thing. Not enough people are interested in the intellectual pursuits these days.
Right. So I would just like it to stay on the record that I don't like you, and I'm not sure what your deal is, or why you Siegfried, why in the world did you come to my house in the middle of the night? What were you thinking? Like, if you were actually being chased by the Sahiba, she says that, like, so she's heard about it now. You could have put me in some serious danger. I can't be seen holding you against Caspian's wishes. Sometimes I wonder if you think about anyone yourself.
No.
I, of course, am going to honor my Sahib and work with you, but you need to get over yourself. The world doesn't revolve around you. She kind of like looks down at the floor as if she said too much. And then she says, "Anyway, what are we doing today?"
Today we are pursuing the first step in realizing Caspian's dream.
Right. And what is that first step?
I go and take one of the meerkats from the cage, and I take all the other meerkats and put them away because I don't want them to see this.
Right.
And I leave Nanners in charge of them.
Okay.
Because Pookie's gonna help me with the surgery.
Right.
because I get a dice from Pookie.
I'm not sure if we ever established that Pookie has like surgery.
He doesn't have surgery, but he has knowledge of Meerkat parts. You'd be like, oh, don't do that. You're gonna break him.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, he has to have some kind of skill that'll help Caleb.
I mean, no, he doesn't. Like in the game, he's a spirit familiar. And that spirit familiar has stats, but it does not have skills.
Oh, okay.
You could maybe teach it to do things, but it doesn't inherently have like surgery or Meerkat wise or whatever.
Okay. I need to start teaching him surgery.
Mm-hmm. You can do that.
Meerkat surgery.
Yeah, it's a very, very specific line of medical work. Okay, so what's the role here? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, ultimately, it would probably be substance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would be the base of all of it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So substance combined with basically every other skill I have, because I built this character around doing this one specific thing.
Yeah.
And then those two would add their whatever they'd add.
Mm-hmm.
So I explained that we're going to turn this Meerkat into a solid gold being while it'll still live and maintain full functionality.
Yeah, I mean that's what that is. I guess just add up the dice.
She doesn't say anything.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah. So Ivana, I mean, you haven't mentioned this to Ludwita either, have you?
Not yet.
Yeah. So they both look at you like jaws open, and Ludwita just says like, "Chaos, Siegfried, what?"
That's what I got hired for. Don't look at me.
Yeah, Ivana looks at you and she said, "What do you mean you got hired for?" And then she kind of puts it together, and she says, "Oh, what in the abyss? The stories are true? Caspian tried to make himself into some sort of golden sentinel and failed. And that was you who tried that the first time?"
Yes, there were some distractions the first time. And his wife, she interrupted.
Raises an eyebrow. She says, "So we're going to turn this Meerkat into a living being made out of gold in
That about sums it up.
practice for making Caspian into a living being made of gold."
Yep.
And so you look at the expressions on both of their faces. Ivana looks horrified. Ludwita looks just like sickly fascinated.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
I've had moderate success in the beta testing, but I need skilled partners to assist. And I slowly lose the old man facade because I'm just so excited and interested to do this.
Yeah, I think Ivana doesn't really notice, but Ludwita definitely like raises an eyebrow at you. I mean, let's roll, I guess.
She's not gonna prod any deeper. She's just gonna go along with it.
I think she's just gonna go along with it for now.
Okay.
Right, because this is the thing, right? Like this roll is a culmination of like the afternoon, like the morning and afternoon spent like preparing and then doing it, right? And so yeah, we can make linked tests here. We can make, we can add things. This is the thing, right? Like they can only add one die to this final roll, but they could also make a bunch of linked tests if they wanted to.
How would that help?
If they succeed, it gives you another die.
So they'd be able to give more than just the one?
Yeah.
Theoretically? Okay, we should do that. But if they fail...
Then it increases the obstacle by one for every link test.
We need to like keep track of this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what are their skills and what are their
So
numbers?
the one that I think Ludwita is just gonna add to this is bloodletting, probably.
Okay.
That's her like medical skill that she has. So her knowledge of like blood and weird mystical medical procedures. But I think she's gonna roll a link test for alchemy.
Okay.
And let's see. 1, 2, and this is gonna be.
So can I dictate what that roll would be?
Yeah. What do you think?
For it? For alchemy? Well, something to keep it paralyzed and not being able to move and all of that.
Yep, that makes sense.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. Oh, how is that possible?
She rolled very badly. She got 3 1s and a 2.
She has a 6.
She does have a 6 though, so I will spend fate for her.
Ugh.
Nope. So increase the odd by 1.
All right. I cannot believe that happened.
Yeah, she had a lot of dice on it, so.
I know.
It was
bad. 2.
And right, so she doesn't know that she did this, right? Like she doesn't know that she's failed in this concoction, but whatever she makes with this is not going to completely sedate the Meerkat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So and then what's the lady going to? The other lady.
I mean, also Ludueta is also going to roll astrology for this.
She's gonna break everything.
Right, because she's gonna like look at the stars and stuff, and like the movement, like some charts that she has and stuff, and add some like some aspect of like tempting fate and stuff. Let's see. So what she's doing with astrology is she is
Can I fork things into their?
She's determining the auspices of an enterprise. So let's see how this goes. Oh look, she failed again. Oh my goodness! Another really bad roll.
I ever spend another fate?
I mean, it's not a magic skill. Unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, she is destroying this roll. So,
yeah.
So am I able to add a fork into their linked test?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to fork instruction into our alchemy roll.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm sorry. I should have informed you of that.
Yeah. I was just wondering. Yeah. Because I need.
Yeah. Because that's for sure. Really that's the way of doing this. So I'm also gonna allow. Right. I'm gonna also allow Yuvana to add, because she's like herbalism and stuff. She's gonna add her dice to another dice to the alchemy thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 2d6 to this.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. So that didn't work. Yeah. Do you have astrology?
I do.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and add that into her astrology.
I don't know if I want to. What if I want to roll my own astrology? She's doing worse than I was.
That's true. Yeah, if you just want to.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's something else. Can I add history into her astrology?
Add a history into her astrology. I don't think so. If you had like obscure history, maybe
of the side. I need obscure history for my actual role.
No, I don't think you can just fork history in. Yeah.
Okay. What about?
Yep. So that's all she rolled there, I think.
Okay.
And so she's adding her bloodletting to your actual roll.
Gotcha.
Yuvana, I don't have a character sheet for her, but I think she has probably like something like surgery wise or some sort of like she has actually probably has anatomy to be honest. And so I'm just gonna roll a link test for her.
She should have like
Ob 2.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yep. So she provides 1 dice then. So as of right now, you get +2 ob, but +1 die.
And she should probably have some other thing to roll as well to try and get it back to neutral.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she has something.
I'm sure she has some other skill or something that makes sense. So I'm gonna do this one's also an ob 2.
Crap.
Yep. So that increases it again.
I'm forking something into that.
And then now that you know about it, you had to have said that beforehand.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Dang it.
Yep.
Why does
so +1 die, but +3 ob.
Okay.
This is gonna be real bad. This is gonna be wonderfully bad.
Yep. Okay. What's the ob for the actual roll now, Caleb?
So the ob for this roll, I think was gonna be 5, but now it is 8.
Okay. Time to pull out all the stops, Caleb.
You are adding 3 dice from them to this roll, plus any forks.
Gotcha. All right, I'm just gonna go down the list. Okay, alchemy, anatomy, astrology. What about attribute? Can I use other magic systems to help out here to fork in or no?
Yeah, you can use attribute. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
What was the other thing?
Oh, no, I didn't say anything else yet.
Okay.
Other than the ones that just Chimera-wise.
Absolutely.
Elemental discipline-wise.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because... Yeah.
Yeah. So, gas, because there's a lot of gases in the human body.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. If you're trying to... This is the thing, right? This is a very complex thing you're trying to do.
Because there are a ton of things I'm changing and manipulating. Yep. Okay, homunculus-wise,
you could probably also add liquid. Yeah. Not plasma.
I'm going through the list one at a time. Yep. Caleb, don't mess me up.
Sorry, I won't.
Okay. Liquid. Magic-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Obscure history.
Mm-hmm.
Obscure text.
Mm-hmm.
Philosophy.
No.
Because we're discussing the philosophy of animal. The philosophy of animals and uplifting them and all that.
No.
Okay. Physical discipline-wise. And Caleb, I think plasma would work because the brain works consistently through electrical pulses, and all that is plasma.
You're right. Yep.
Okay. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Substance is what I'm rolling. And surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Caleb, I might still succeed in this roll.
All right, well, let's see.
I have so much stuff. And you know what? Just to top it off, 2 persona.
All right. Make sure you put that on substance.
On substance, yeah. Oh, wow, I have 5 in that already. Jeez. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy crap! I have 21 modifiers to this roll.
Wow. This is what your character was specifically built to do. So,
if I somehow fail this, I'm going to freak out. Okay, I was about to say. I mean, may as well roll a fate because why not?
Yeah, if you want to put fate in substance, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can only do 1 die though. Remember, because it automatically rolls the. This is magic, so it automatically. So it's just 1 die.
Never mind. Not going to do that then.
Okay.
May as well save that then for something later. Yeah, so it works.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
I mean, you describe this for me. What does it look like?
What
happens?
It's probably like a slow, monotonous, like molecule by molecule, changing hundreds of different things all at the same time to make sure we don't explode it and destroy its very being. We're just slowly from like the tip of its foot all the way up going, changing it.
Yeah, the Meerkat is like spasming throughout this process because I mean the concoction that Ludwig came up with doesn't work as well as it should. But yeah, you managed to slowly but surely in a very this is probably very painful for the Meerkat, but you managed to do it. And yeah, it's like little like gold version of the Meerkat, and it it's laying there like breathing heavily, right, like trying to
and then I start comforting him once it's done, and then give him carrots,
right,
yeah, or whatever this world has that meerkats like. Do we have carrots?
They probably
desert carrot.
Dates probably. That's probably what you give it. The little dates or raisins or something. Yeah, I mean you just made a solid gold meerkat. And to be honest, like right, like the difficulty for doing this to David probably would have been around 11, so you probably could have, right? You probably could have managed it. So I mean, I think you're pretty confident in your ability at this point to do this to David. I think you look at this and you're like, I can do this. Like I figured it out with the right help and the right dice, with the right skills adding together. I can do this.
Oh my gosh, this is great. Caleb, we forgot something.
What did you forget?
We need to roll something every time I do magic.
Oh
gosh, dang it!
Wow,
every week.
Let's just ignore the other ones. Let's just do it for this one. And so this is actually the big challenge because it's the exact same ob. Remember? So if you don't get, except you got a 1.
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Yep. So perfect. Yep. So
I tricked the system.
So this is the thing, right? Like
I need a bad number.
This is the thing. If you did this to David, that's going to be the biggest risk. The biggest risk is probably going to be to yourself, because if you even if you succeed on David, it's still going to be an ob 11 or whatever test, and if you don't get a 1 on that roll to roll for the stat, and you get something else, you're probably going to be like go unconscious because you're going to lose so many dice from that. So
worth it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, I think it's probably a good place to close it out.
Yeah,
because you think you've accomplished most of the things that you meant to do.
Every single thing I have in my
so let's go ahead and go to that. So yeah, Ludwig intrigues me, and we'll get her magic. You have done that. Take a persona.
All right.
Caspian has given me an opportunity, so I'll utilize my new lab. I will make a solid gold living meerkat. You have done that. Yeah, and you have worked towards the third one. I have uplifted my meerkat friend. I will attempt to teach Meerfried the 9 disciplines. Always experiment with the wounded. If there's a question, answer it. Nothing.
Those really got me into trouble.
Abused, spooky, versatile, misunderstood, gifted, spirit familiar, legacy, demon speak, aura of fear. Oh, I forgot about the aura of fear. I always forget about that. I should have had them roll things.
I mean, I figured it was fine because most of the people had already seen me multiple times.
But yeah, I think that's. Let's look at the other.
Is a lady less mad at me now? Now that we achieved scientific breakthrough that no person has ever done.
You look at her, right, and it's really hard to like see what she thinks about this. She has a very convoluted expression on her face. You're not entirely sure how she feels about this thing that you guys just did. Yeah, I mean, well, and this is the thing, right? You'll have to see the implications of this when we, if you do experiments on the meerkat and stuff, like what exactly happens when you turn someone into living gold. I mean, because this is the thing, right? Like gold is not a very hard metal, and so it's not actually gonna like do much in the way of defense, really.
But I mean, you'll still be 100 times more durable than a human body.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you'll get dents in yourself pretty easily, but you won't like cut very easily. Yeah.
But I mean, if we structured it to act the same exact way as a human body? Would it not repair itself? Because there's still blood flowing
I would
through it,
assume so.
and gold, white blood cells that will repair itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple other little fate rewards you might have gotten here. Let's see, a humor. If a fate point is earned, if a player can stop a table dead with humor while in character. Did you make me laugh while you were in character at some point in this?
I don't remember.
This session? I don't think so. I mean, I think Nanners probably got a fate point this session.
Yeah, Nanners was the best.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to experiment on Nanners.
We'll have to name whatever this Meerkat is, because he's probably gonna be important now too.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally bringing him back to the tribe.
Oh yeah, He's gonna fight for dominance with Siegfried. Goodness. Yeah. So right skill, right time. Probably not exactly.
Acting.
I mean, you didn't have that skill, so.
I know.
Let's see, embodiment. When a player captures the table perfectly. Yeah, I'm not sure any of the other extra stuff happened this session. So there you go. That's probably it. Well, there you go. Well, so there you go. that was our mini session. Got Siegfried a little bit back up to date with what's been going on in the party. Accomplished basically what you would have accomplished in the 2 sessions anyway. I'm terrified to think about the implications of all this. I don't even know what's gonna happen in the future.
It's great. So many pieces.
Yeah, man.
I just keep adding pieces.
What's cool is, I mean, I have a bunch of pieces too that I've been put into place. I definitely have some ideas about the Meerkat Imperium that is developing. You have changed the face of this world forever, Siegfried. So, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's it.
All right.
This has been the Crow Inquisitors side story with Siegfried. There you go. Meerkat Revolution.
Viva la resistance.
Yep.